Hi everyone, I have some exciting news. I'm Nikki with USA Pan, and we are going to be giving away our 6-piece baking set, which I have in front of me. We have a loaf pan, 9x13, sheet pan, 8-inch square pan, muffin pan, and a cookie sheet. So there are 6 pieces of bakeware that we are going to be giving away to you for free. So starting today, how to enter is, if you don't already subscribe, please subscribe below. If you're already a subscriber, then we would like you to comment in the comment section what you plan on baking this holiday season with your USA pans. It's that simple. We have all the rules listed below. And like I said, you are getting 6 pieces of bakeware with this giveaway. So enter now. Hi everyone, it's Nikki in the USA Pan Kitchen. If you've been tuning into our videos, you know that we've been doing lots of Thanksgiving dishes leading up to Thanksgiving. We really wanted to do a pie for you guys to show some dessert. So today we're going to be doing a recipe called a paper bag apple pie. It's baked in a really unique way. I'm sure you can guess by its title. So stick with us and we're going to show you. So the first thing that we're going to do is make our pie crust. Pie crust is just a few simple ingredients, which are flour, fat, and water. So today I have 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour in my bowl. You wanna make sure everything is as cold as possible. You wanna get everything nice and cold. Your hands, your bowls, your flour, your fats, everything should be cold. I'm gonna use today a combination of shortening and butter for this crust. Some people like all shortening, some people like all butter. I think it's a nice way to use both to get the flavor of the butter and the flakiness of the shortening. To my flour, I'm gonna add a heaping 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna add in my shortening, which was in the refrigerator, and then I'm gonna add in, there's 3 tablespoons of shortening and 4 tablespoons of butter that I have cubed up. They sell lots of tools for this, but I find it best to just get in here and work the butter and the shortening into the flour with your hands. You don't want to work it too much. I'm going to show you. I just give everything a little toss here to kind of get it coated, and then you just want to go in and take your butter pieces and kind of smush the flour in. And again, one of the other really big rules of pie dough is that you don't want to overwork it. You know, just get it together, get it kind of shaggy looking. So to my flour butter shortening mixture, I'm gonna add some water. It's always best to start with the least amount as possible. You don't wanna use too much water. So I'm just gonna go in here and sprinkle. I'm gonna start with 4 tablespoons of water, and I'm gonna see how that looks. So if you squeeze it together and it holds together, it holds its shape, then you should probably stop working with it. So I have some loose bits here. I'm just gonna go in with my hand and kind of flick the water at it just so I don't add too much. I'm gonna get a piece of plastic wrap for this. I'm gonna use the saran wrap to kind of just press it together. Just want to flatten it into a disc, and I like to smooth the edges out. And I'm going to pop this into the refrigerator because we want everything to be cold. This is going to go into the refrigerator for about a half an hour, and then we're going to roll it out. Our pie dough has rested in the refrigerator for about a half an hour. If it feels too stiff or hard, just let it come to room temp for a little bit longer. I'm just gonna roll my pie dough right here on my counter. You could do this on a cutting board or a piece of parchment or saran wrap if you like. I'm just gonna put a little bit of flour there. I'm gonna dust a little bit on the top of my dough here. We don't want any sticking. Make sure everything is moving. All right, I'm gonna take my flour, my rolling pin, just give it a couple thumps here to like get it to flatten out a little bit. Now I'm going to start rolling from the center out, and I'm going to keep turning my crust here to make sure it doesn't stick. Like I said, if you need more flour, go ahead and add it. All right, once you get your pie dough rolled out, you want it to be a couple inches bigger than your pie pan. So I usually just take the pie pan and put it on top like that. Once you have the correct size. There are lots of different ways to get the crust into the pan. I like to just fold it like this and take my pan and then pick it up and scoop it in like that. You never want to force it into the pan. You just kind of want to let it lay in the pan here. And you want to go around and you take the excess and just tuck it under. If there's too much, you can always just trim it off as well. We have our crust in our pan here, and you just want to go ahead and do the edges however you like to do them. A lot of people just use a fork to crimp them. You can do other fancier methods if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and do a little like scalloped edge here. So we have it in our pie pan. What I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to pop this into my freezer while I make my filling, just so it's nice and cold, because there is butter in here, and once that butter hits the hot oven, it likes to melt, and so you want this to be as cold as possible. So I'm going to put this in my freezer while I make the filling. Okay, so I have peeled and cored and sliced my apples. I have about 4 pounds here, which is about 8 cups. I have used 2 different kinds. I've used Granny Smith and Honey Crisp. I have 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I've got 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and for my spices, I'm using 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm just gonna mix the brown sugar and the spices and the lemon juice in with my apples. And once this is all combined, I am going to get this started cooking down a little bit. So I'm gonna throw this in the microwave for 5 minutes. Okay, so we took our apples out of the microwave. They were in there for 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna toss in 3 tablespoons of flour. So I have my pie pan, or my crust that was in the freezer. I've taken that out, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the apples in now. So we got our apples in our pie pan. I mean, how good does that look? Now, for the topping, we have here 8 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter. We've cubed that up. We're gonna add to this a 1/2 cup of flour and a 1/2 cup of sugar. And we're just gonna mix this up until it's all nice and crumbly and the butter is all mixed up into this topping. Okay, now that that's mixed together, I'm gonna go ahead and just use my hands and get that on top of here. Gonna get a little messy, but it'll be worth it, I promise. Okay, so the interesting thing about this recipe, like I said, is that it is called paper bag apple pie. So we are gonna bake the whole pie inside this brown paper bag. I'm just gonna take that, and I have a USA pan, half sheet pan. I'm gonna put the bag on top. Any kind of brown paper bag will do for this. I'm gonna take our pie. Oh, it's heavy, and I'm gonna stick it right inside this bag. Once it's in there, I'm gonna take a stapler and staple the ends closed. You could use paper clips for this, anything metal. If you don't wanna use anything to close it, you could just fold it over as well. Okay, so we are going to bake this at 425 for 1 hour. Okay, so we've baked our pie for 1 hour in the paper bag. I cannot find my scissors, so I'm just gonna use a knife to go in here. We're gonna cut this open and see. I'm gonna open this up so you can see how good the pie looks. Baked in the paper bag, which collected all the juices and everything in there. Let me see if I can lift this out and put this over here for you to see. And you want to let this pie cool completely before you slice it and serve it. But as you can see, we have our paper bag here on our sheet pan, and it kind of contained all the mess and the juices there, which is the whole purpose of baking it this way. So thank you for watching and being with us today. We hope you all have a happy holiday, and please tag us in anything you make with our USA pans. We'd love to see what you're making for you and your family. If you try this recipe, as always, we'd like to know. Don't forget to subscribe and like and follow us on all our social media, and we'll see you next time.